For today's Bible story, we are going to flash forward from the beginning of the Bible all the way to the second book of the New Testament, Mark. Here we find some very faithful and creative friends. This story has a lot of ups and downs. Listen carefully as I read. Every time you hear the word up, stand up, and every time you hear the word down, sit back down. Got it? Here we go. Up on the northwest shore of Galilee was the town of Capernaum. Jesus went there with his disciples. Arriving at home, Jesus sat down and began teaching. So many people had gathered there that the house and the yard were filled up with people. Meanwhile, 4 friends seemed rather down. On a mat, they carried their friend who was paralyzed. They really wanted their friend to see Jesus, but they couldn't squeeze past all those people. They needed to come up with a creative solution. They looked down at their friend and then up at the roof of the house. They knew just what to do. They reached down and picked up their friend, carrying him onto the roof. Then they dug a hole in the roof and lowered their friend down. All the people in the house looked up and were surprised to see a man being lowered down. But Jesus was delighted at the faith of those friends. He told the man on the mat that his sins were forgiven. This made some of the legal experts there raise up an eyebrow. Who did this Jesus think he was, forgiving someone else's sins? Jesus asked them if it was easier to tell a paralyzed person they were forgiven or to tell them they could walk again. Again, Jesus looked down at the man and said, "Get up, take your mat, and go home." And that's exactly what happened. Everyone there looked down with amazement as the man on the mat got up, took his mat, and walked out. Thanks to Jesus and 4 faithful, creative friends, nothing could keep the man down. In the beginning, God created. That's how the story of our faith starts. The very first thing we learn about the nature of God is that God is creative. Soon after, we learn that we were created in the image of God. To be created in the image of the Creator is to be creative. But many people believe they are not creative because they don't compose symphonies, write best-selling books, or make movies. Yet there are so many ways to be creative. The 4 friends in our Bible story show us that they are faced with a problem and they come up with a creative solution for getting their friend in front of Jesus. Our creativity doesn't have to change the world, but it could change the world for one person.